Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your sources, your articles, notes, all that research, and really get straight to the core insights you're looking for.
And today we've got a really fascinating stack. It's right at this unique crossroads of faith, pretty advanced business strategy, and, well, cutting-edge AI.
Yeah, it's quite a mix.
These sources, they're all pointing towards one kind of powerful goal, achieving what they call exponential growth.
Right, but in a very specific context, a kingdom-driven business.
Exactly. So this isn't about just, small percentage gains year over year.
Yeah.
It's really about building the capacity for rapid multiplied impact, true operational acceleration.
So our mission here is to really distill that core framework for you. How do you actually build a business with that blend they talk about? Grace, speed, and substance.
Yeah, we want to give you the shortcut to being, fully up to speed on this whole system.
It seems like a pretty comprehensive system, too. Three parts.
That's right. It really hinges on three interconnected ideas we need to unpack. First, there's this divine equation for acceleration. They call it E MC².
Okay.
Second, a diagnostic tool. It's free checking the internal health of the business bloodline program.
Interesting name.
And finally, the ethical guardrails. Absolutely essential when you're using powerful tools like GPT-5 and agent mode. They call it the Phoenix playbook.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The foundation seems to be this acceleration idea.
Right.
Starts with that metaphor.
Yeah.
EMCEU, the divine equation. They position it as the formula for, what was it, Holy Spirit accelerated progress.
That's the term they use. So E is for exponential growth. And MM stands for the mind renewed.
Okay.
Which is explicitly based on that passage in Romans 12.2.
Now, mind renewed sounds a bit abstract. I get the spiritual reference, but, for someone leading a team or managing operations listening right now, can you give me a concrete example? Like, what's a fear-based narrative or worldly thinking from these sources that actually hits the bottom line, or efficiency?
That's a great question. It's the crucial translation, right? So M means stopping operations based on, let's say, inherited limitations or old patterns.
Okay.
A classic fear-based narrative in business. We can't scale, we just don't have the funding, or we can't find the right talent.
Right, you hear that a lot.
And that leads directly to things like chronic underinvestment, maybe being too risk-averse. So renewing the mind here means consciously releasing that specific limitation
And replacing it with?
Operating based on a different mandate, one of, say, excellence, abundance thinking, and actively building capacity, maybe even aggressively.
So you're swapping out that perceived scarcity for actual capacity building and a bigger vision.
Exactly.
And the sources make a pretty bold claim here, saying that, traditional worldly systems are actually crumbling right now.
They do. It's a core assertion. They argue these systems are ultimately unsustainable.
And the role of the kingdom business is then to colonize the world system. That's strong language.
It is strong, but the idea is to colonize it with principles of excellence. The premise is that conventional strategies may be focused only on short-term profit or market share without real integrity are fundamentally flawed. So your role isn't just to kind of succeed within that system, but to actually set a whole new standard.
The standard of excellence that eventually replaces the old ways.
That's the idea, replacing those crumbling methods of operation.
Okay, so that's the foundation, the M. Now, the accelerator part.
Right.
Christ's wisdom to the second power.
Right.
If M is the mindset shift, C must be the strategy component, but amplified.
C is exactly that, the multiplicative force. It's defined in the sources as divine downloads, spirit-led strategy, and faith-based discernment, all operating at full strength.
So what's the difference between that and just, good strategic planning?
Well, think about the difference between, say, slow, exhaustive trial and error marketing versus receiving an immediate kind of tailored strategy for entering a market that just works, giving you disproportionate results. That's the C difference they describe.
Okay, but here's another bold claim they make. Acceleration without burnout. Now, if I'm listening, how does applying C actually change my day-to-day? What's the practical difference on the ground between standard business strategy and the C approach?
Good question. A standard strategy often relies heavily on maximizing human effort, right? Late nights, sacrificing personal time, constant iteration.
The grind.
The grind. A C strategy, according to these sources, maximizes flow and what they call divine assignment. The core assertion is, if you're feeling burnt out, you're likely relying too much on your own strength.
Not on the promised flow of grace. They mentioned Matthew 11.
Exactly. That reference to releasing heavy burdens. The practical difference day to day is your strategy feels defined by clear, unburdened focus, not just an overwhelming volume of tasks.
So, operating from rest and confidence, not frantic effort.
That's the goal.
Okay, so if E MC² promises this rapid, sustainable growth without burnout, the obvious next question is, why are so many businesses or leaders burning out?
And that leads us perfectly into the next piece.
The Business Bloodline Program.
Precisely. You can't put, high-octane fuel in an engine that's sputtering and misfiring.
Right. Good analogy.
So this program is about diagnosing the underlying health of the business first. It uses that analogy you mentioned, eating for your blood type.
Applied to business operations.
Exactly. Your business has unique strengths, unique vulnerabilities. And just applying generic business advice like a standard diet might be inefficient, or worse, actually cause misalignment.
Okay, so the key is identifying your business's specific blood type.
Yes.
And then applying a tailored solution, the right diet, to fix the root cause, not just chase the symptoms like inefficiency or low engagement.
You've got it. It targets the root cause.
All right, let's run through these 4 types. They have catchy names for the diagnoses, which I think helps make it stick. This feels really actionable.
Definitely. Let's start with type A. This is the overwhelmed operator.
Okay.
Their sort of clinical diagnosis is chronic stress syndrome.
I know a few of those.
Right. It's the owner, maybe the executive, who feels like they have to touch everything, every process, every decision.
Which totally bottlenecks things.
Absolutely. It cripples their ability to scale. So the focus for type A has to be on building sustainable, repeatable operations, delegation, systems.
Got it. Okay, next.
Next is type B, the disconnected creative. Their issue, engagement deficiency disorder.
Engagement deficiency.
Yeah, this business might have a fantastic product or service, but
yeah.
their communication is just inconsistent. Their storytelling is weak.
So they lose their audience?
They suffer from audience attrition, yeah. They need strategies specifically tailored to build a loyal audience, create meaningful connections that actually last.
Makes sense. Third type.
Third is type O, the misaligned visionary. Diagnosis. Identity crisis syndrome.
Ooh, identity crisis syndrome. What does that look like?
They really struggle with niche clarity. You often see them kind of mimicking competitors instead of carving out their own unique space.
So their processes get messy.
Yeah, unoptimized, they feel forced. Their prescription is about achieving radical differentiation and then building systems that can actually scale that unique vision.
Okay. And the last one, type AB. You said this one hit home for you.
Yeah, a little bit. Type AB, the inconsistent executor. The diagnosis here is execution fatigue disorder.
Execution fatigue. Tell me more.
These are the ones with brilliant ideas, really strong vision, but the follow-through, it's just not there consistently.
So lots of starts, not many finishes.
Exactly. They get plagued by these silent inefficiencies, things that just derail momentum quietly. Their path to health is all about consistent, steady implementation. That's how they get growth and actually solve problems innovatively.
And the sources also warn about what happens if you ignore your type, right? Like that typo misalignment.
Yes, they connect it to severe ailments. That typo identity crisis, if ignored, can lead to what they call a business stroke.
Whoa.
Yeah, trying to serve everyone, completely diluting the mission, leading to, potential catastrophic failure.
So knowing your type A, B, O, or AB isn't just academic.
Not at all. It lets you apply that surgical strategy, the right diet, to prevent the burnout and get performance aligned before you try to hit the accelerator with EMC war.
Okay, so acceleration needs a healthy engine, needs the right formula, but it also needs powerful tools. Which brings us to the third part. We've got the strategy, the diagnosis. Now, how do we responsibly handle something as potent as GPT-5 in this agent mode in a purpose-driven context?
Right, because we're talking about tools that fundamentally change the game in terms of leverage.
Yeah, how so?
Well, the sources report GPT-5 feels less like a chatbot and more like interacting with a sophisticated PhD-level expert, significant gains in reasoning coding.
So it's moving beyond just fixing grammar.
Oh, way beyond. It's becoming a genuine operational co-pilot.
And the really big leap seems to be agent mode.
That's the game changer.
It's not just drafting stuff. It can actually act on tasks if you let it.
Exactly. It can do the research, prep the brief, fill out forms online, draft presentation decks, even check your calendar and schedule things with permission.
Wow. It's instant expert-in-a-box leverage, especially for smaller businesses where one person wears 10 hats.
Huge potential there, but it immediately brings up the need for stewardship because access isn't equal.
What do you mean?
The sources highlight the capacity difference. Free users might get, say, 5 agent requests a month. Pro users, maybe 400.
That's a massive difference.
It is, which means you can't just treat AI like some free bonus feature. It's a potent, potentially scarce resource that needs active management, like any valuable asset.
Okay, and the sources are really clear about putting guardrails around this power.
Very clear.
They emphasize GPT-5 is an instrument, not your identity. An edge, not a throne. I like that framing.
It's crucial framing.
So what are the top 2 hazards they warn about when people start using these agents?
Okay, the biggest one is probably the false confidence hazard. The AI sounds so convincing, so articulate.
Even when it's wrong. Hallucinating, as they say.
Precisely. So you might be tempted to just ship its work without checking it thoroughly.
Which leads to...
Directly to the second hazard. Scope of practice drift. Letting the tool draft something that looks like regulated advice, legal, financial, medical, when you, personally, are not qualified to give it, that's dangerous.
Very. And then there's the practical risk.
Yeah.
Over-reliance.
What happens if the AI goes down? Or the terms change? Can your business still deliver its core promise?
Right. The non-negotiable rule seems stark. Don't outsource your integrity.
Yeah.
Or your core skills.
Cannot do it. Which brings us neatly to the practical, actionable part. The Phoenix Playbook. These are the mandated ethical guardrails for actually using this AI assistance responsibly.
Okay. Phoenix. Let's break it down. F is for.
F, frame the ask. Define your desired outcome and constraints before you even write the prompt.
Why is that so important?
Simple. Garbage in, garbage out. If you give a vague request to a PhD-level tool, you'll get a brilliant but possibly irrelevant answer. Disciplined asking equals quality output.
Got it. Yep.
E, evidence first. Make the AI provide sources, demand opposing viewpoints sometimes, and critically, when agent mode does research.
You have to check the sources yourself.
You click the source list, you verify. It's about being accountable for the facts you're using.
Okay.
N, no blind shipping. This is non-negotiable. Mandatory human review. Check the math, check the logic, check compliance, check if it even sounds like you.
So the AI drafts, the human decides.
Always. That's your quality control. It stops that false confidence issue we talked about.
Makes sense. I's for.
I integrate with expertise. You can't just copy-paste. You have to layer in your specific industry knowledge, your lived experience, the nuances of your clients.
So the AI provides the heavy lifting, maybe the structure.
And you provide the soul, the judgment, the specific data or context that makes it truly valuable and authoritative.
Okay. And finally, X.
X, explain your use. The sources strongly suggest disclosing reasonable AI assistance, maybe in proposals, maybe in documentation.
To clients, prospects, really. Does that feel practical for a small business just trying to move faster? Seems like extra work.
It might feel like it initially, but the sources frame it as crucial for long-term stewardship and trust.
How so?
If you're using these powerful tools for C acceleration, your credibility is everything. Transparency ensures the client trusts that the core expertise, the judgment, is still yours.
Okay.
The AI just carried the operational load. The goal is letting the tool carry the weight, not letting it carry your credibility away.
Let the tool carry the load and not your credibility. I like that.
That really pulls it all together, doesn't it? When your mindset is truly renewed, that's M, and your strategies are genuinely guided by Christ's wisdom.
You get that exponential growth.
Right. And then when you steward these incredibly powerful tools like GPT-5 and agent mode with real discernment, using those Phoenix guardrails.
That's when you achieve that blend they mentioned at the start.
Yeah.
Grace, speed, and substance.
Exactly. True exponential impact built on a solid foundation.
Wow. Okay, this has been a really comprehensive deep dive. We've hit the divine equation for acceleration, EMC². We've looked at diagnosing your business health with the Bloodline program types A, B, O, A, B. And we've covered how to bring PhD-level AI into your workflow ethically and effectively. The common thread I'm hearing across all these sources is stewardship.
Strategic stewardship.
Okay.
Absolutely. Of your vision, of your business's health, and definitely of these powerful new resources.
So for everyone listening, you now have the growth formula, EMC². You have a way to think about your potential business diagnosis, A, B, O, or AD.
Yeah.
And knowing that agent mode can take on a lot of that digital busy work, maybe addressing that type A chronic stress or that type AB execution fatigue. Here's the question to chew on.
All right.
What is the first operational pain point, that first silent inefficiency you're going to delegate? What task will you give to the agent to free up your mind for real leadership for receiving that C-level strategy.
That really is the core decision, isn't it? What time, what focus are you buying back for yourself? Definitely something to mull over as you think about integrating all this.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for this deep dive into your source stack. Until next time.